Interesting development overnight. Sources have told ESPN that San Antonio Spurs guard Bryn Forbes will soon be a part of the Denver Nuggets. ESPN says it's part of a three-way deal with the Boston Celtics. Sources say the Nuggets will send Bol and P.J. Dozier to the Celtics. The Spurs will acquire Boston forward Juancho Hernangomez and Denver's 2028 second-round pick. The Nuggets want Forbes to improve their three-point shooting. ESPN says he ranks third in three-point field goal percentage over the past 4 NBA seasons among players with more than 1,000 attempts. Meanwhile, on the court, Spurs face a must-win scenario tonight when they host the Thunder. That's because the Thunder are having a worse season compared to the Silver and Black, but not by much. Both right now out of the playoff picture. When you consider the Spurs have only won one game during the 7-game homestand, you understand why tonight is so important to try to get the Silver and Black back on track. Getting Jakob Poeltl back this week helped the Spurs get out to as much as a 10-point lead against the best team in the NBA, the Phoenix Suns. He led the Spurs with a team-high 23 points, 14 rebounds, 2 big blocks. It's nice to have the normal starting five back together finally.
It felt good. I think we got rolling pretty well today. DJ hit some tough shots early. We have good chemistry with that group, especially lately with all these guys out. I feel like we had to play a lot of lineups that weren't used to playing with each other. So it's good to finally try and get some rhythm back into our game again.
Tonight's game against the Thunder tips off at 7:30 at the AT&T Center.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
When looking at the Cowboys' dismal playoff performance, one aspect that comes into the microscope is the Cowboys' rush attack or lack thereof. The Niners outgained the Cowboys on the ground 169 yards to 77, and the highest paid running back in the league, Ezekiel Elliott, just 31 yards on 12 carries. We knew he was playing with a bum knee for the last 2 months, but we didn't realize now what we didn't know is that Zeke has a partially torn ligament.
It was hard. You know, it's never fun being banged up. But it's my job to make sure I get my body right and be ready for my team, for the fan base, for the coaches. So, I mean, it's hard, but I mean, it's my job.
Meanwhile, Dak Prescott apologizing on social media, saying he deeply regrets the comments he made regarding officials on Sunday. Says he was caught up in the emotion of a disappointing loss and that his words were uncalled for and unfair. High school football. Meet the new head coach of the Johnson Jaguars. That's T.P. Miller, the Jaguars' former defensive coordinator. Miller takes over the Jags after Mark Soto decided to return to his alma mater, Judson, to become the Rockets' new head coach. In a letter to parents and students dated January 10th, Miller announced his appointment as head coach and athletic coordinator on the Johnson campus. Good luck, Coach.
And time now, 4:43 and about 62 degrees out there. Coming up next, tense moments captured on police body cam as first responders pulled 3 people from a frozen lake. And welcome back. It's 4:46. Body cam video shows the tense moments as first responders pulled 3 people from a frozen lake in New Jersey. ABC's Alex Perez has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, surviving the dangers of thin ice.
We do have people in the water.
Tense moments captured on police body cam. Authorities racing to this New Jersey lake Sunday night after an emergency call to help Rodrigo Oborski, who had fallen through thin ice. The 41-year-old says he was riding his dirt bike on the ice, which he thought was 6 inches thick, when the bike's front wheel cracked the ice and he plunged.
I was floating like neck deep. When I first went in the water, I was like, that was intense. It was like fighting for your life.
2 witnesses falling through the ice themselves, officials pulling the 3 victims to safety.
It could have definitely turned out worse. I'm just glad the outcome was good.
And we'll have the expert tips for getting out of this dangerous situation coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Alex Perez, ABC News, Chicago.
Time for a look at the roads at 4:47. This morning, we are looking at Highway 90 and 410. Quite a few flashing lights, quite a few flares out there. Don't have any information. We'll try to get some for you coming up here on GMSA.
And for now, let's go ahead and check in with Mike. I guess we could talk about the picture behind you first.
We just got to start. This is just, I saw this and it's like just because.
How cute.
No reason. look at those bellies on those things, even from the back. I mean, 6 little puppies. That's just adorable. Can you imagine the puppy breath with that? Okay, just wanted to show that. Just
so
because.
Cute.
Thanks.
It is extremely warm. It is extremely humid outside, and it's going to be staying pretty much that way. Humidity may drop a little bit later on today, but that big front comes through tonight. So here's what's going to be going on. First of all, remember yesterday, dew points had gone up about 20 degrees compared to the previous day. Now they've gone up another 27 degrees compared to this time yesterday. That's how much more humidity is out there, and it'll stay that way throughout most of the day. Then later on, we get a little bit of dry air kind of coming on in here. That will also help temperatures to warm up. We'll see some sunshine. Then the front moves through tonight, and we're going to be seeing dew points dropping down into the teens, and even there will be some single digits out there, which is very rare around here, and that just bone dry air you're going to be able to feel on your skin. That's going to help with the low temperatures being so cold and staying cold, and we continue with the dew point temperatures that are going to be bone dry. Okay, wind chills are going to be a big deal tomorrow. Temperatures won't get out of the low 30s tomorrow all day long, and the winds are really going to be blustery, gusts 30-35 miles per hour, and wind chill forecasts 20s, mid-20s, and even colder than that. That's just here in town. In the hill country, maybe even a little bit colder, and we may at times see wind chills with the gusts getting down into the teens. So here's what we need to know and plan for: a little bit of light sleet and some freezing rain. Now, it's still going to be, I don't think amounts are going to be that great, but with freezing rain, it doesn't take anything to be problematic on the elevated roadways, bridges, things like that, because they're up in the colder air, obviously, instead of on the ground. So we were talking about wind chills. They're going to be an issue. So icy glaze on bridges and overpasses, and it is going to be at or below freezing, especially in the hill country, throughout a good chunk of the day tomorrow. And I think it starts tomorrow morning up in portions of the hill country. That seems to be kind of the trend now with a lot of computer models. So here's this computer model. The front comes through about 8 o'clock. We get those winds coming on in here. Tomorrow morning early, we'll have some scattered wintry mix up there in portions of the hill country, and then it will start to work its way south. And I'm just going to kind of click through this every couple of hours, and it's going to be going back and forth, a little bit of rain, a little bit of wintry mix, and obviously the majority of that is going to be into the hill country, and then it starts to kind of work its way down into our southern counties in the overnight hours, and then we'll have a little bit more even left over into Friday morning. Of course, the winter storm watch goes into effect at 6 tomorrow morning up until 6 o'clock on Friday morning. And then after that, it just stays cold through the weekend. So today, 70 at noon. We'll have more sunshine around here at noon. And then later on, partly cloudy, 78 for a high temperature. Front comes through tonight. Temperatures drop down throughout the day. We'll basically be, again, in the low 30s all day long. Cold wind chills, that wintry mix, and then a little bit of mix in the morning, down to the south primarily Friday morning, and then it just stays very cold over the weekend. A couple of more showers around here Sunday into Monday.
I guess if there's a saving grace here, Mike, based on our past experience with these kinds of events, is we haven't had days and days of cold weather leading up to this. So the surfaces, I know they'll cool down rapidly, but the deeper pavement and concrete is pretty warm right now.
Correct. Surface streets are warm when we're going to be up close to 80 degrees, like you were saying, but it's the elevated roadways because they're just bathed in colder air sitting up there. Yeah. Those concrete steel structures, and that little bit of glaze that can get on there. So that's going to be the thing that we have to watch out for. Yeah, that air passing underneath the bridges is almost like an air conditioner, right? Yeah, I mean, it's just suspended in cold air, so especially in the hill country. Starting
That's why crews are getting ready. Already.
Thank
you, Mike.
Stephen will have more on that coming up right now. 4:51, about 62 degrees.
And coming up next, a song from the Disney movie Encanto is climbing the charts. Plus, there are a lot of new movies coming out on Netflix soon.
Lotto numbers, pick 3, 522. I said 22. Fireball 1. Daily 4 numbers, 9129, Fireball 1.
Well, it's funny when you say it like that. Catch 5, 11, 17, 22, 24, 27. And your Mega Millions, 4, 19, 39, 42, 52, Mega Ball 9, Mega Plier 4. Good luck.
5 till 5, a special look at the new Netflix movie Brazen, plus a song from Encanto is climbing the charts.
For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
Why did Alyssa Milano want to star in the new Netflix movie Brazen? In the film, she plays an author investigating the murder of someone close to her, and she tells me the role combined her passions, acting and activism.
I think a lot of the movie is about, women finding their voice, even when we're told to sit down and stay in our lane.
You can watch Brazen on Netflix now.
Open it.
Speaking of Netflix, the streaming service's stylish western The Harder They Fall leads the film nominees for the NAACP Image Awards.
No one was doubting me except for me.
HBO's Insecure, the leading TV nominee. And in the music category, Her has the most noms with 6. Anthony Anderson hosts the show, set to air live February 26th on BET.
We don't talk about Bruno, no.
A song from the Disney movie Encanto just hit chart heights not even reached by Frozen. We Don't Talk About Bruno is number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 singles chart, the highest charting Disney song in over 26 years.
Let it go.
Surprisingly, Frozen's wildly popular Let It Go was only able to reach number 5.
The cold never bothered me anyway.
And happy birthday to country music superstar and amusement park mogul Dolly Parton, turning 76 today, while Full House star Jodie Sweetin is 40. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Yeah, happy birthday, Dolly. And I think Jodie Sweetin just got engaged in the last week or so.
A big year for her.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
4:56, about 62 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA, today is the day the Biden administration will make 400 million non-surgical N95 masks available for free. We're going to tell you how it works.
Plus, Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard in an all-cash deal worth billions. We'll tell you why it's such a big deal. Coming up in Tech Bytes.
And a quick look at the roads with TransGuide. There's a look there at Highway 90 at Loop 410. We're going to be checking in with Stephen Cavazos about this situation very soon.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And making news right now, the Biden administration making millions of N95 masks available for free at tens of thousands of pharmacies and community health centers.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, we're at 62 degrees. That's right, 62 degrees. Very interesting. Doesn't feel like January right now.
Oh, just wait. Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, the 19th. You want to tell them or shall I?
I think they kind of know, but
They do.
maybe Mike will really tell them what's going on.
He's going to hammer home what's about to happen tomorrow.
Yeah, big front comes through. Actually, it starts tonight with the front moving on through here. Prior to that, yeah, it's very warm and humid. I mean, it's a whole different story even than what we had around here yesterday with 62 degrees. And look at that bottom number. Dew point is up to 60 right now. Just a couple of days, even yesterday, it was still on the pleasant side. A couple of days ago, that number was down in the 20s. So we got a lot of humidity out there, light breeze, and we're going to make it up to 78 later on this afternoon. Yesterday was 75. The aquifer yesterday, it did go up 0.3 of a foot, and the allergens, a lot of mountain cedar. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with tomorrow's count as well as Friday when we have the windy conditions throughout the day. Tomorrow, mold is on the light side. All right, there is some fog out there. You go out I-10 in toward Boerne Stage, you're going to run into some of that as well as down in toward Pleasanton. Hints of it out there at the airport as of right now, and then also down Cotulla, Laredo, a little bit of fog, just kind of scattered about. The thickest appears to be, as of right now, going up I-10 in toward Boerne Stage. So we'll watch out for that for the rest of the morning. So some sunshine later on today, partly cloudy skies, if you will, very warm. And then again, that front moves through roughly 8 o'clock tonight, and the winds are going to be shifting around. Temperatures will continue to drop down. It is going to be cold. It is going to be windy all day long. Temperatures won't get out of the low 30s all day long, and there will be some wintry mix. Primarily starting, it looks like, in the morning in scattered about, very light in the hill country, and then sort of covering more of the area, albeit very light throughout the day. And then a little bit of leftover down to the south Friday morning. We'll see some clearing then, but it's going to stay very cold all the way through the weekend. And there's going to be a couple of 1 or 2 showers Sunday, a little bit better chance for some rain on Monday. Winter storm watch has been issued, goes into effect tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock, up until Friday morning at 6 o'clock. We'll tell you what to expect. And again, closer look at the weekend. Details in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen Cavazos. Daniels just said you saw some fog on KSAT, right?
Bernie stage right here, Mike. I-10. We're seeing some of that fog that you just mentioned. Not a lot of drivers out there. However, if you are traveling through this area, make sure to take it easy, drive slow, use those low beams. Now, we're not seeing any issues in this area just yet, but of course, we're going to watch it closely as well as the roads ahead of tomorrow morning. So we'll continue to keep you all the updates here. Now, we did start off with a crash there off Loop 410 northbound at US 90 before we went to commercial break. It does look like that crash is thankfully cleared out and it's not causing any issues for anyone that drives through that area. But of course, we're going to keep an eye on the roadways as the morning does get going. Things start to pick up. Let's push out of the map and show you how we're looking this morning. Right now, still in good shape. But as Mike mentioned, some of that fog up toward I-10 near Bernie Stage is where we're seeing that developing. We're not really seeing a lot in town, which is good news if you have to travel in the next few moments. And if your travels take you into San Antonio, well, we have those inbound times for you right now. Coming in eastbound from Bernie to downtown San Antonio, 25 minutes on I-10. Traveling through Bulverde, we're seeing a slight delay with 28 minutes in those southbound lanes. And right now on I-35 southbound from New Braunfels, 25 minutes. So we're still in good shape this early in the morning. However, we're going to keep our eye on these foggy spots here and give you all those updates throughout the morning. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, a driver is recovering following a rollover crash on the city's north side late last night. It happened just before 11 p.m. at the intersection of Highway 281 and Bitters. San Antonio police say a driver in a vehicle traveling southbound on 281 jumped the median and rolled over as a result. The driver was trapped inside. However, we're told that firefighters got there and the person was cut from the vehicle. Police say there were no signs of intoxication. The driver was taken to the hospital with minor injuries.
This morning, San Antonio police and Crime Stoppers looking for the suspect involved in a shooting that left one person dead, and that case remains unsolved.
This happened on the city's south side back in 2011, and our Jonathan Cotto has the details on how you can help in this investigation.
It's been over a decade since a stray bullet killed an innocent bystander, and police are still looking for information that can lead to an arrest. Police say two men were arguing in the 200 block of Cox Avenue, that's near I-37 on the city's south side, on December 15th, 2011. That argument leading to gunfire, one of the bullets killing 52-year-old Alma Sainz. They say the suspect fled the scene and is still on the loose today. If anyone has any information that can lead police to the whereabouts or the identity of the suspect involved in this shooting, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen. That's 210-224-STOP-STOP. If the information you provide leads to an arrest, you may be eligible for a $5,000 cash reward. Reporting, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Despite an overall drop in violent crime last year, homicides spiked dramatically. That's according to preliminary crime statistics from the San Antonio Police Department.
Sarah Costa joins us in the studio with those details. And Sarah, what can you tell us?
Good morning, Mark and Steph. So this is data that was taken from 2021, and police say the rise was mostly driven by a bump in property crimes. The report also showed there were 30 more homicides last year than in 2020. San Antonio Police Chief William McManus says there's no pattern. And when it came to gun violence, specifically, he told a city council committee the recent law that allows people to carry a gun without a license was not behind the city's gun violence rate. The chief also says engaging in high-risk activity like being in a gang, soliciting prostitution, or buying or selling drugs raises the chances of being a violent crime victim. Now, we have a breakdown of this report on KSAT.com. Just look for this story on our homepage. Mark and Steph.
Sarah, thank you. COVID-19 positivity rate still rising here in Bexar County. Metro Health now says it stands at 38%. Hospitalizations are also still going up. This morning, 1,197 patients are being treated. 249 are in ICU. 105 people are currently on ventilators. Metro Health reports an average of more than 6,000 new cases a day in the past 7 days. Well, this morning, new action by the federal government offering free tools to help Americans fight this latest wave of COVID-19.
ABC's Alex Brachet has the latest from New York.
This morning, more Americans will soon have access to those highly sought-after N95 masks for free. ABC News learning overnight that the White House will be taking 400 million N95 masks from the Strategic National Stockpile and shipping them to pharmacies and health centers across the country, scheduled to be available in some places by the end of next week. The government also launching a long-awaited website allowing Americans to place their first orders for 4 free at-home COVID tests.
These tests are not easy to come by, so programs like this can make a big difference, but I hope it's just the beginning of something more robust.
The White House cautions there may be hiccups.
Every website launch, in our view, comes with risk. We can't guarantee there won't be a bug or two.
In some major cities, Omicron infections are trending downwards. New York City cases dropped 34% in the last 7 days. But elsewhere across the country, cases continue to overwhelm hospitals. In Oklahoma City, doctors describe a war zone with 0 ICU beds and more than 100 patients waiting.
We have to care for patients in hallways, sometimes closets.
And new data shows nearly 1 million children tested positive for COVID-19 last week, 4 times the rate of the peak of last winter's surge. 29 million eligible children have still yet to get a vaccine shot. Alex Perche, ABC News, New York.
5:08, about 62 degrees.
And still ahead, a look at how plans have been altered for the rollout of 5G services for AT&T and Verizon because of airport interference concerns.
And Mike Osterhage has our full attention today. The forecast tomorrow could be a little tricky, and we need to be thinking about that. Time to plan ahead, folks. Details still to come. A celebration of unity and peace will continue. The owners of Santa's Place on Sprigsdale say they're disappointed and angry about a shooting that disrupted their Mlk Day celebration Monday night.
4 people were hurt, and so far, police have not arrested anyone. Police say the shooter fired into a crowd of people, including children. And even though it was a scary incident, many people there say it's important for the celebration to continue.
We're not going to let no one bad apple spoil the goodness. It'll come to light. It'll come to light. We'll find out. We got a good police department. They'll find out.
Santa's Place has been hosting an Mlk Day celebration for more than 20 years now.
5:12 at about 62 degrees.
And still ahead, a big story in the gaming world. Microsoft is set to buy Activision Blizzard, and that means big changes.
And how a company is creating a ring-like security system for your car.
It's a lovely day today. Got to do. I'd be so happy to be.
Whatever the morning brings, sip your sunshine with 100% vitamin C. Tropicana.
This is how you imagine your dishwasher, but it may not be as clean as you think. Built-up grease and lime scale could be hiding in your pipes. Try Finish Dishwasher Cleaner. Its dual-action formula hygienically cleans hidden lime scale and grease in your dishwasher. Finish. Clean dishwasher. Clean dishes.
With age comes more. Get more with Neutrogena Retinol Proplus, a powerful 0.5% retinol that's also gentle on skin for wrinkle results in 1 week. Neutrogena for people with skin.
Every business is on a journey, and along the ride, you'll find many challenges. Your Dell Technologies advisor can help you find the right tech solutions so you can stop at nothing for your customers.
Microsoft expanding its video game operation by acquiring video game publisher Activision Blizzard. ABC's Faith Abube has details in today's Tech Bytes.
In today's Tech Bytes, Verizon and AT&T have agreed to delay today's rollout of 5G service near some airports after airlines warned of flight cancellations. The companies will temporarily limit the number of towers that carry 5G technology due to concerns that the signals could interfere with critical instruments used by pilots. Some flight disruptions are still expected today, especially among international carriers as airlines try to navigate new restrictions. And next, a big deal for Microsoft. The company is buying Activision Blizzard for about $70 billion. The deal adds titles like Call of Duty and Candy Crush to Microsoft's video gaming collection. Ford and ADT have created Canopy, a ring-like system for cars. Its onboard cameras and other tools will alert owners to potential threats. Canopy won't be exclusive to just Ford models, and it launches next year. Those are your Tech Bytes. Have a great day.
Right now it's 5:17.
Go ahead and check in with Stephen Cavazos. Are there still problems out there on Highway 90?
No, looks like that has cleared up. So that's some good news, especially as we start the morning picking up right now. Not a lot of people out there on the roadways. Of course, we expect this, but we are seeing some fog. There's I-10 at UTSA Boulevard. Also seeing here I-10 at Dominion. Now, again, not a lot of folks out there this morning, but just drive carefully, especially when you're driving through some of those foggy spots. Right now, things are looking pretty good road-wise. I-10 at Woodlawn, still a very quiet start to Thursday. today, but keep in mind that things can quickly change as the morning does go on. And as we take a look at our road weather map, it seems pretty calm and quiet here in San Antonio. We did have that crash off of US 90 near 410. Thankfully, again, that is cleared out, but we're seeing more of that fog up toward I-10 Bernie Stage. But we really want to bring your attention here to some upcoming construction that's going to be going on later today and will be lasting possibly up until Monday, January 24th. Now, this is off 410, and it will actually some concrete work that will start at 9 in the morning and last till 5 in the afternoon. So that's pretty much all day. That's led to the southbound bypass ramp to West Military Drive to be closed. But again, that will be wrapping up Monday, January 24th. So we still have a few more days to go. But right now, things are looking quiet and calm this early in the morning. 281 at Hildebrand. The morning's getting going, but we're keeping a watchful eye on things, guys.
Thank you, Stephen.
Very good. That's a pretty picture behind you.
Yeah, this is a picture that you're not going to be seeing today. There's a cloud cover out there, but yeah, gorgeous view of the moon as it appears to be rising. That's just my guess. Got a 50-50 chance at that one. So, yeah, we're not going to see any, moon, sun today at all. We'll see some sunshine later on, but not this morning as far as the sunrise is concerned. And also, as you saw on some of those TransGuide cameras, there is a little bit of fog around the area, especially heading up I-10 in toward Bernie Stage. 62 degrees as of right now. And of course, this humidity, when you got these numbers, dew point temperatures running neck and neck with the air temperatures, you get humidity readings well up into the upper 90s. Light wind, and that's why, like I said, we do have a little bit of fog around the area, and we'll just watch out for that throughout the rest of the morning. Going to make it up to 78 later on today, and that's going to be about 15 degrees above normal, a little bit warmer than yesterday. But then again, of course, that all changes tonight as the front moves on through here. About 8 o'clock or so, obviously a little sooner in the hill country. Temperatures are going to be dropping like a rock. I mean, we'll drop a good 45, close to 50 degrees between the high today and then tomorrow's temperatures. Going to be staying below freezing in the hill country throughout most all of the day. And we're going to be flirting right around the low 30s throughout the day, all day long. And again, below freezing through Friday morning up there in the hill country. So that on top of the wind chill temperatures are really, really going to be low. So here's what's going to be going on. We see a little bit of sunshine later on this afternoon. Then the front moves through, not with a whole lot of fanfare as far as any precipitation, but the winds are going to shift around, much colder air, and I think the wintry precipitation, albeit very light, is going to start tomorrow morning, northern Bexar County up into portions of the hill country, and then it'll start to spread a little bit more throughout the morning commute and kind of stick around throughout a good chunk of the day. It may switch over, be mixed in with a little bit of rain, a little bit of sleet, perhaps some freezing rain, especially up in parts of the hill country. Elevated surfaces, bridges, overpasses, things like that are what we're going to really have to watch out for. This is going to go on throughout the day. And again, it's not going to be doing this constantly, nor is it going to be heavy. But of course, with freezing rain, it doesn't take much of anything to get that glaze on the roads. And then as we go into tomorrow night and Friday, it looks like we'll still have some of that around. But then by Friday morning, even though it's left over in parts of the hill country, a little bit of snow, a lot of that's going to be shifting down to the south as well. So that's where actually the winter storm watch goes a little bit further into the day on Friday for some of our southern counties. So the forecast today, it's going to be very warm, and we'll see more sunshine later on. So partly sunny skies today at noon. Plenty of clouds hanging around here this morning. 70, and then a high temperature gets up to 78. Front's going to come through later on tonight, roughly 8 o'clock, a little sooner in the hill country. And temperatures will drop down. We'll start to see a little bit of some wintry mix in the hill country tomorrow morning. Winter storm watch goes into effect 6 o'clock tomorrow morning up until 6 o'clock Friday morning. And temperatures will stay in the low 30s all day long tomorrow, right around freezing or just below that in the hill country throughout most of the day. And those blustery winds, I mean, that's what's really, just those biting winds cutting right through you. 30s starting off on Friday, and then we'll see sunshine in the afternoon, upper 40s. Cold weekend, though, and some rain late Sunday into Monday. Better chance of rain on Monday.
So as this plays out tomorrow night into Friday morning, it's turning into a fairly widespread event for a lot of our viewers.
The chance is going to be there around most all of the area. I think it starts in the hill country tomorrow. But yeah, there'll still be a little bit, off and on throughout the day. It doesn't mean it's going to be just
one and
solid,
done.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's going to be, solid freezing rain or sleet all day long. But the chance is there throughout all of the area. Yeah.
Okay. Well, today our heaters get a break.
Yeah.
Get it in time, just in time for tomorrow. Thank you, Mike.
522, about 62 degrees.
And coming up next in your morning spotlight, a Harry Potter star set to play Weird Al Yankovic, plus a first look at Oscar Isaac as Marvel's Moon Knight.
Today in entertainment news, Harry Potter meets the Prince of Parody.
CNN's David Daniel explains in our Hollywood Minute.
I'm excited for you.
Daniel Radcliffe has played a lot more than just Harry Potter. He's starred in other films, on television, and on Broadway. Now he's ready to tackle perhaps his biggest challenge. Radcliffe will play Weird Al Yankovic in a feature film about the Grammy-winning musician known for his parodies of hit songs. Yankovic co-wrote the Roku Channel biopic, which is due to begin production in Los Angeles in early February.
I feel very fortunate.
Yet another honor for Benedict Cumberbatch. The star of The Power of the Dog is set to receive the Santa Barbara International Film Festival's Cinema Vanguard Award, which recognizes actors who take risks and make unique contributions to film. He'll be honored at a festival event March 9th.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're alive. What's wrong with you, Mark?
Why did you call me Mark? It must be very difficult. Voice in your head. There's chaos in you.
Here's your first look at Oscar Isaac and Ethan Hawke in Moon Knight, the new Marvel series based on the comics about a superhero with dissociative identity disorder. Moon Knight debuts March 30th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Yes, that was Ethan Hawke with the longer hair there.
Wow, he looks different.
He looks really different. Looks pretty good. 526, about 62 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA, why experts say the way the Omicron variant works could push us from a pandemic phase to a more manageable endemic phase.
Plus, why Peloton users will soon see a spike in the charge for workout equipment.
And we're going to tell you why some Disney fans waited in line for more than 6 hours for a popcorn bucket.
Making headlines this morning, why the Omicron variant may push us out of a pandemic and into an endemic.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, we're starting at 62 degrees, but we are looking forward to some big changes.
Underline big. Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, the 19th.
Thanks for joining us this morning. It's kind of like the calm before the front, I guess, is the great way to say it.
Yeah, good way to put it. And as far as big changes, a couple of weeks ago we had a front that moved through, and between the high temperature one day and the low the next, there was going to be about a 50-degree drop in temperatures. That's close to what we're expecting overnight into tomorrow. It'll be about 45, close to 50 degrees, but then the wind chill we're going to be dealing with. Then on top of this one, though, we're going to have some wintry mix in parts of the area. 62, as Steph mentioned, and that number is running neck and neck with the air temperature. Dew point is at 61, which means we have relative humidity ratings well up into the upper 90s. A little bit of a breeze out there, and so with all that extra humidity that has been pumped in overnight, we do have some fog. It's dropped down to Bernie's visibility down to a quarter mile at Bernie Stage, 5 at Pleasanton, so that's actually improved a little bit, and a hint up there around the airport. But just watch it going out I-10, because as of right now, other than Cotulla, those two spots are the thickest fog. Victoria has some fog as well, and this is going to be sticking around throughout the rest of the morning. Mountain Cedars on the high side. Be interesting to see what happens to this tomorrow morning, as well as the updated count tomorrow morning, as well as Friday morning with the windy conditions that we're going to be having tomorrow. Throughout the day, 70 at noon, 78 for a high temperature. That front's going to move through later on tonight, about, say, 8 o'clock or so. So temperatures are going to be dropping off very quickly, and we'll lose at least another 20 degrees behind that overnight, down to the low 30s tomorrow. What to expect tomorrow? Temperatures, winds, precipitation, how long it's going to last, all those details are coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen Cavazos. Other than the fog, any big problems out there?
Very quiet, Mike. And of course, we're going to be watching these roads ahead of tomorrow morning. But right now, we're just spotting a lot of that fog out there. Traffic is moving there at I-10 at Frio. We're not seeing a whole lot of activity. And that's some good news, especially if you are an early morning commuter and you have to wake up and head out the door in the next few moments. But as Mike mentioned, take it easy, especially at I-10. That's where we're seeing some of that fog that he's been talking about. I-10 at Bernie Stage looking a little bit better, but again, drive slow and make sure you use those low beams. Right now, 37 at Houston. Houston, still pretty quiet there. And as we show you our map, again, green start to this morning. Now we're seeing some yellow up there on I-10. That's that fog that our road weather map has been detecting. But right now we're still quiet here in town. And if you plan to travel into San Antonio from any of these communities, green across the board. Pretty green from I-10 and Seguin with 29 minutes in the westbound lanes. Right now, if you're traveling in from Livernia on 37, we're just looking at 21 minutes. That is 28 minutes coming in from Floresville to downtown San Antonio. So still in good shape. The roads are very quiet right now. If it stays this quiet, we'll talk gas prices coming up in the next few minutes. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephen. San Antonio police may be on their own when it comes to solving an overnight shooting. They say the victim is not offering a lot of information. Police found him at an apartment complex on the far west side on Culebra Road near Alamo Parkway. Katrina Weber is there with a live report. And Katrina, how serious was his gunshot wound?
It's nothing life-threatening from what police tell us. They say that this man is stable after being shot in the leg. And they say he told them it happened behind these apartments behind me in the woods back there. But however, when police found him, that man was outside a third-floor apartment, the home of a friend. They say he made it to the door of that home and collapsed around 2:30 this morning. Officers tried to question the victim, who they say is in his teens or early 20s, but he really wasn't cooperating. They searched the area and found something that they say could be a big clue in this case. The police say they found a backpack full of drugs behind the building where they found that man. And they are trying to investigate right now to determine who that belongs to. But again, police do not have a description of the shooter. They say that victim was not cooperating. Reporting live on the far west side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Katrina, thank you. Today, the public is invited to pay tribute to those who served and sacrificed our nation for an unaccompanied veteran memorial service.
Sarah Costa joins us live in the studio with more details on the ceremony. Good morning.
Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Stephanie. This service is for veterans who don't have a known next of kin, and it's why the community is asked to attend and honor those that have died and served. The ceremony was held at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery in partnership with Bexar County Military and Veterans Service Center. It will start at 9 a.m. today. It will be held in the assembly area of the cemetery. An unaccompanied veteran is someone whose next of kin is unknown and or burial arrangements have been made by a public administrator like a VA medical center. The National Cemetery Administration and Bexar County say they welcome and honor these veterans to ensure they are never buried alone. The memorial will include military funeral honors, the playing of taps, and the presentation of a folded flag. Mark and Stephanie.
Thank you, Sarah. 5:35 right now. Could Omicron actually get us out of the pandemic?
Well, as CNN's Brett Conway reports, that's what a lot of people are hoping for based on the variant's transmissibility and often decreased severity.
It's been nearly 2 years.
COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic,
meaning it spread over several countries or continents, usually affecting a large number of people. It was March 11th, 2020. Since then, restrictions have become our new normal, trying to keep the virus from spreading. So what would it take to get us from pandemic to endemic? Something that's at a level usually present in a community. More like the flu. There's hope the virus itself could do that, specifically the Omicron variant.
Because it's a highly transmissible, but apparently not as pathogenic, for example, as Delta.
But health experts say it's not likely.
That would only be the case if we don't get another variant.
There's a good likelihood we're going to see another serious COVID wave of a new variant, TBD, to be determined.
But it seems to me that the answer here is obvious for how to get out of this, to get it to an endemic stage. We can only vaccinate our way out of this pandemic.
A slow work in progress. The latest data from the CDC shows 67% of people 5 years old and up are fully vaccinated. Just under 80% have gotten at least one dose.
Until we get the 80 million or so people who continue to not get a vaccine, we're going to be in trouble.
I'm Britt Conway reporting.
And schools across the U.S. now have more tools to fight the COVID-19 pandemic. President Biden just announced that the U.S. Department of Education has completed the distribution of $122 billion in school relief funding from the American Rescue Plan. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona called this, quote, an important milestone. Cardona says state and local leaders should use the funds in areas like testing, staff recruitment, and protective equipment.
In Crosby, northeast of Houston, the Harris County Sheriff's Office says the deaths of 3 teens whose bodies were found at a home yesterday were possibly due to a double homicide-suicide. Deputies were sent to the home after a family member who lives nearby made the discovery. The sheriff says 2 girls, possibly ages 17, and a boy, possibly 15, were found with signs of trauma. Investigators say 1 firearm was used in the incident. Right now, it's unknown if the teens were related or lived at that home.
Time now, 5:38 and about 62 degrees out there.
Up next, why Disney popcorn bucket is sending fans into a buying frenzy.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, it's starting almost warm out there. It was a little interesting walking out the door. I knew it was not going to be cold today, but I also know I need to get prepared for tomorrow. More with the changes coming up. And welcome back. It's 5:40. In your morning consumer headlines, high inflation is pushing up the cost of nearly everything, and that includes treadmills and stationary bikes. Exercise equipment giant Peloton is hiking the price of its flagship bike just 5 months after cutting it drastically to boost sagging sales. Starting January 31st, customers will have to pay $250 for delivery and setup for the company's nearly $1,500 bike. Adding the delivery and setup fee, which used to be included in the price, brings the total cost to $1,745 in the U.S. For Pelotons and treadmills, the fee will be $350. That too starts later this month, bringing the treadmill price to $2,845. Peloton said inflation and supply chain challenges are to blame.
Die-hard Disney fans reportedly waited more than 6 hours to buy a limited edition Figment popcorn bucket. Figment, the purple dragon, holds a special place in the hearts of Disney and Epcot fans. It's a star of the Journey into Imagination ride and known as Epcot's mascot. Massive lines for the $25 buckets formed at Epcot's International Festival of the Arts in Florida Friday. Fans rather wanted it so bad, there were reports of some offering $100 to people in the front of the line to buy them one.
Oh, wow. I mean, they're cute.
You don't know if they're $25 cute.
Well, I mean, $25, but the 6 hours, you know.
Definitely not $100 cute.
No, not $125, no.
5:42 on your Wednesday morning, about 63 degrees.
And coming up next, the Animal Defense League is standing by with a new pet that needs to go home with you.
This is for this week in 3, 2. Michelle has her hands full today. Believe it or not, this guy, first of all, good morning. How are you? Who is this guy? Hi. Okay,
so
hi.
He's a puppy. We're still learning our manners.
He is only 6 months old?
He's 6 months. This is
He's
Mr.
6
Floppy.
months. Is he going to get bigger?
He will fill out a little bit more, but I would say he's majority grown.
Obedience training is probably going to be a really good idea. Yes, don't gnaw on my hand.
Good boy.
He needs a big backyard and probably not little kids just because he's going to go through them like a bulldozer. He'll go through walls, I think.
Kids that can keep up with him because he is ready to play. That's for sure.
Yeah, you need a running partner, and he's a mix of what?
So we have him as a shepherd mix.
Okay.
I think he's a little bit of everything.
Okay.
You know? But he has these little floppy ears, which I think is very suitable for his name, Mr. Floppy. And yes, he's available for adoption at our Nacogdoches campus, and he's just a baby.
The kids in the backyard, tennis ball, I mean, a running partner, everything. He is just all dog, just all energy and enthusiasm, and he's going to take up a big spot on the couch and your bed, I'm sure, too.
Yes.
So, hey,
good sit.
Good boy.
He's got it in him.
Sit. What you got going on?
Well, you know, this month.
Okay, hello. Hi. Okay, here. Shh. Okay, you be a good boy. Go to sleep now. Go to sleep. Okay, what you got going on?
Okay, well, this week we did celebrate Betty White's would have been her 100th birthday. And we had an amazing day this past Monday for donations. So there was a viral campaign going on to donate to a local shelter in her memory. So we really just want to thank our community for all the donations that we saw. It was really, really incredible. And we are still accepting donations throughout the end of the month, and you can donate through our website at adltexas.org.
Okay, and they are accepting donations, of course, anytime. If you'd like more information on that, more information on this little lap dog, go to the Animal Defense League out there, 11-300 Nacogdoches, or give them a call. Thank you, dear. I know you got your hands full.
Love the floppy ears.
Yeah.
6 months old. Six months old.
There's the energy right there. A very large lap dog.
Yeah. 5:47.
Let's go ahead and check in with Stephen Cavazos right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got to give the folks at Animal Defense League a big shout out, because last week, or was a few weeks ago, they had that kitten that was crawling all over the place. So yeah, it's a lot. To handle. But
Michelle is quite the animal wrangler there.
Yes.
Does a wonderful job on
She
the
is
air,
professional and a professional on air as well.
Yes.
Let's take a look at our roadways right now, because things are shaping up to look quite nice right now, although we do have a little fog still out there. I-10 at UTSA Boulevard. We're seeing a few folks out there. Make sure to use those low beams. There's I-10 at the Dominion. Right now, we're not seeing a whole lot of folks out there, but this is typical this early in the morning. There's I-10 at Frio. Quiet starts. Not a bad way to start a Wednesday morning, but as we take a look at our map, we're seeing the same thing, just some green lanes right there. Let's go ahead and take you to our road weather map, where you can see that some of that fog up toward I-10 Bernie Stage. But right now here in town, things have been looking pretty quiet. And so if you have to head out in the next few moments, maybe to the gas station, let's take a look at those gas prices, because right now we are seeing that crude oil prices are the main culprit why we see more of an increase at the gas stations right now. As of today, Bexar County does report, or AAA that is, reports that the average gas price in Bexar County is $2.86. Now around the state here in Texas, the average gas price is $2.95. AAA does report that's a 4-cent increase over the last week. So we are seeing that jump there. Around the country, $3.31. And as I mentioned, they say those crude oil prices are to blame for that increase in the demand or the increase in the gas prices when you head over there. So we'll continue to watch these gas prices over the next few weeks. But of course, today we're going to keep our eyes on the roadways. But right now, things have been calm. Guys.
That's good news for today.
Yeah, today. And the thing we have to watch out for this morning, though, as he was just showing, is that fog, especially heading out I-10 and toward the hill country, because visibility around Bernie Stage is quite low as of right now. Another just beautiful picture just to show you, as the sun just passed sunset yesterday. We will see a decent sunset later on today. We're going to have more sunshine, but we've got the clouds starting off this morning, of course, and some of that fog out there. 62 degrees right now. The normal average low temperature is 63 at the airport this time of year. So just to put things in perspective, mid-upper 50s in parts of the hill country. All right, what we can plan for, this is going to be starting tomorrow, primarily starting in the hill country, and then it will spread around more of the area throughout the day. A little bit of light sleet, a little bit of freezing rain, and amounts aren't going to be that great, but of course, with freezing rain, it doesn't take anything. If it freezes up on contact, on elevated surfaces, overpasses, bridges, things like that, it can be a little bit squirrely when you're driving. And also, it's going to be windy and cold. Temperatures will stay in the lower 30s throughout the day, and it's not going to get any better. So again, that icy glaze on bridges and overpasses are what we're going to have to watch out for, mainly in the hill country, again, the first portion of the day, and below freezing for several hours, again, in the hill country. And the wind chill forecast throughout the day, low 20s, and I think this may be even a little bit generous. I think at times, even with those gusts, we'll see some wind chills getting down even into the upper teens. So this evening, front comes through. It may squeeze out a little sprinkly shower in places. This computer model shows one or two of them, because it's going to come through about 8, 9 o'clock tonight, and then temperatures are going to be dropping down. And again, initially, we get some of this little bit of wintry mix, and this sort of, just paints things in with a broad brush. Doesn't mean it's going to be everywhere, but there is that chance for it. But this is primarily in the hill country, even northern Bexar County tomorrow morning. And then throughout the morning commute, it is going to start to spread a little bit more. We'll have some light rain mixed in as well. So it's not going to be constant. And this will just be sort of the scattered variety, but a little bit of some sleet, maybe some freezing rain mixed in here and there throughout the day. And again, this is because temperatures are going to be hovering right around low 30s. So we'll be at freezing at times in various places. And that will continue throughout the hill country tomorrow. Again, mixing in with a little bit of rain, a little bit of freezing rain, some sleet at times. And then as we go into early Friday morning, a lot of this is going to be working its way then down to the south. And so some of the southern counties are going to be affected by this throughout the morning hours. It comes to an end up to the north, but then that will continue, like I said, to work its way down to the south, which is why actually the winter storm watch is in effect longer for our southern counties down there coming out of the Corpus Christi Weather Service office. Humidity is going to be dropping like a rock when this front moves on through here. We're going to see some of the lowest humidity readings that we've seen all season long. 70 today at noon, partly sunny skies, and then we'll see a bit more sunshine later on this afternoon. Call it partly cloudy, and a high temperature up to 78. Very warm, about 15 above normal. Again, that front comes through later on tonight. We do have the winter storm watch in effect from 6 a.m. tomorrow to 6 in the morning on Friday, and then it will be lasting longer for the southern counties in through the afternoon hours on Friday. Tomorrow, temperatures don't move out of the low 30s, so we'll be flirting right around freezing all day long, below freezing in parts of the hill country throughout most of the day. Windy, wind chills, and again, that little bit of wintry mix off and on, a little more steady at times up in the hill country. And very cold Friday morning, some leftovers here and there, and then stays cold over the weekend. Another chance of rain late Sunday into Monday. So again, it won't be constant. It's a 30-40% chance for just precipitation, but there will be a little bit of some icing on some elevated roadways, especially in parts of the hill country.
You bet.
Okay, we'll have to be very careful out there.
We will. And of course, if we have any school delays or closures, we will let you know both tomorrow morning and again, possibly Friday morning. Right now, 5:53, about 63 degrees.
Let's take a look at your winning Lotto numbers. There's Pick 3, 522, Fireball 1, Daily 4, 9129, Fireball 1.
Cash 5 numbers 11, 17, 22, 24, 27. And Mega 4, 19, 39, 42, 52. Mega Ball 9, Mega Plier 4.
Coming up here on a Wednesday on GMA, it is all about the storms. And yes, that's plural, the bitter cold. I'll be tracking everybody from Montana to Delaware, down to South Carolina, up to Maine on alert. So we will show you what's going to happen there. But also already this morning, we've got pictures coming out of the northern plains of blizzard conditions to give you a little taste. That and so much more coming up right here on GMA.
It was a South Central Texas fishing adventure like no other. Crews searching the San Marcos River for these invasive catfish. They pulled about 400 of them out in recent weeks. These armored catfish can burrow into riverbanks and eventually cause erosion and collapse. So where do these fish come from? We have the story online at KSAT.com. Ahead in the next hour at GMSA, the IRS will begin accepting tax returns next week. We've got some tips that'll help you get your refund on time this year. TransGuide right now, we are looking pretty good right now around town, although a little bit of mist and fog hanging around different parts of the area. There was 10 at Hewerman, there's 10 at Bernie Stage Road. We are setting the stage for potential problems on the roads as we go into the next couple of mornings. We'll talk to Mike coming up.
Coronavirus testing lines in San Antonio are causing headaches for people in surrounding areas. We're going to have the very latest.
The San Antonio Spurs fan favorite on the move and part of a three-team trade. We'll tell you where Bryn Forbes is headed again.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, do not be fooled by the temperatures right now. 63 degrees. Yes, it's going to be warm today, but changes are coming soon.
Live from KSAT 12. Good morning, San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning, rise and shine. It is Wednesday, January 19th.
And if you're a fan of winter, we have great news for you. Winter weather, I should say.
Today's going to be downright dull compared to the next couple of mornings, which could be a problem for some commuters, and we're glad you're with us. We have lots to talk about.
That's right. Let's go ahead and check in with Mike. I know those changes are coming by 8 p.m.
About roughly 8 o'clock is when that front's going to move through here tonight. One thing I want to emphasize, though, is because a lot of people still keep referring to what happened last year. It's not a repeat of that.
February.
Yes, last February. It is not in any way, shape, or form. We, just about every year we get a little bit of icing here and there, 1 or 2 times in the wintertime, and this is one of those occasions. It is going to be really, really cold, really windy. Those are going to be the 2 things that everybody takes notice of. And yes, there will be some light wintry mix around the area. This morning, though, you could probably get away without a jacket this morning. You definitely won't need it throughout the day. Temperatures are in the mid and even some upper 60s, 67 right now at Stinson. One thing we have to watch out for is some fog. It has come up a little bit. Visibility has at Bernie Stage, but then it's dropped down to 1 mile going out I-10 in toward Kerrville, 1 3/4 miles now at Castroville, and a little bit lower visibility out there at the airport. 5 Gonzales, Cotulla has dropped down considerably as well. So kind of scattered about, and this is going to be the situation throughout the rest of the morning with this extremely high humidity that really started to pump on in here in the overnight hours. Mountain Cedar is high, Mold low. Updated pollen count comes out in about an hour and a half or so. So temperatures will stay pretty steady throughout the rest of the morning. We may fluctuate a couple of degrees here and there. And then by noon, we're going to be up to 70. We'll see a little bit more sunshine then later on this afternoon, and make it all the way up to 78 degrees. Then all that changes in the overnight hours and is going to drop like a rock. And again, we do have the winter storm watch that has been issued, goes into effect tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock, up until Friday morning at 6 o'clock. I'll tell you what to expect and how cold it's going to be getting, how cold it's going to stay. That's coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen Cavazos, a lot of fog heading out 10. Is that the biggest problem?
It's still seeing that fog, Mike, but just before you tossed over to me, we saw this crash that just popped up on TransGuide cameras. Right now, this is a view from 1604 at State Highway 151. Now, obviously, you can see some of those flashing lights out there in the distance, and our friends trying to get us a clear shot, but also looking pretty foggy out in that area, so you have to drive carefully. At this time, it only looks like maybe one vehicle could be involved, so we're going to watch that closely. But of course, whenever you see those flashing lights, make sure to move over or slow down. Whenever we have situations like this, especially with the conditions outside, you want to make sure that you're driving very carefully. Take it slow out on the roads and use those low beams. Now, let's take you to the map, because although we have spotted that one crash, we're still seeing a pretty quiet start to this Wednesday morning, so not spotting any delays just yet. But as Mike said, some of that fog still a little bit of an issue out toward I-10 Bernie Stage, but everywhere else is looking pretty calm here in town specifically. If your travels are taking you through San Antonio this morning on any of these roadways, right now we're still in good shape. Green across the board, 37 northbound in Pleasanton, Pleasant Drive, 28 minutes at this hour. Highway 90, we're looking at 19 minutes if you're coming in from Castroville on those eastbound lanes. A little time from Lytle on 35 northbound with just 16 minutes to downtown San Antonio. So we're in good shape there. But again, we're going to watch this crash. This one, again, the view off 1604 at State Highway 151. We'll find out how that will impact your morning drive coming up in the next few minutes. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephen. San Antonio police are trying to piece together an overnight shooting incident on the far west side. It began around 2:30 this morning outside of Loop 1604 on Culebra Road near Alamo Parkway. Police say a man in his early 20s was taken to the hospital with a gunshot wound to his leg. Officers tell us that it happened in a wooded area behind an apartment complex. The victim has not given police a whole lot of information. Investigators say they found a backpack filled with drugs behind that apartment building.
Also new this morning, a scary scene for a driver who had to be cut loose from his vehicle on the north side of town. This happened around 10:30 last night at 281 North at Bitters. Police say the man in his 30s jumped a median, causing his vehicle to roll over. He was taken to the hospital and is okay. Officers say alcohol was not a factor in the crash. Search continues for a suspect involved in a shooting that left one person dead.
It happened back in 2011 on the city's south side, and our Jonathan Cotto has the details.
It's been over a decade since a stray bullet killed an innocent bystander, and police are still looking for information that can lead to an arrest. Police say 2 men were arguing in the 200 block of Cox Avenue, that's near I-37 on the city's south side, on December 15th, 2011. That argument leading to gunfire, one of the bullets killing 52-year-old Alma Sainz. They say the suspect fled the scene and is still on the loose today. If anyone has any information that can lead police to the whereabouts or the identity of the suspect involved in this shooting, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen. That's 210-224-STOP. If the information you provide leads to an arrest, you may be eligible for a $5,000 cash reward. Reporting, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Now to the continuing rise in COVID cases. Metro Health reporting an average of more than 6,000 new cases a day.
And even though there are many resources to make COVID tests easier to get, more people are flooding certain sites.
Sarah Costa joined us now here in the studio with more on that. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Mark and Stephanie. I'm sure both of you have seen long lines in certain parts of the city. So insurance companies are now covering tests. The White House is offering to ship tests for free. And we just got a new drive-through testing site, the Alamo Dome. But some local drive-through testing sites are getting so many vehicles, the overflow is crowding nearby neighborhoods. In the Piper Meadows neighborhood, the testing site is drive-through, but the line wraps around the COVID testing station building and into the neighborhood. The Oak Hills area is also being hit hard by the influx of traffic. Chris Oppenheimer and his neighbors say they are fed up.
It's just like a wall of just that every day, and you walk out of your home, you try to go to work, and you want to get it out of your mind, but it's just right there in your face.
The sites aren't run by the city, and our KSAT news team has reached out to the sites for answers. Many of the people in the area hope the availability of at-home COVID-19 tests from the White House will give them some relief. You can get 4 free COVID-19 tests. You just need to put your information, and those tests will be sent to your address. There are other options for testing. The new drive-through testing site, the Alamo Dome, is open every day from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., but you will need to make an appointment. We have all that information on KSAT.com. Mark and Steph.
Sarah, thank you very much. This morning, new action by the federal government offering free tools to help Americans fight this latest wave of COVID-19.
ABC's Alex Perche has the latest from New York.
This morning, more Americans will soon have access to those highly sought-after N95 masks for free. ABC News learning overnight that the White House will be taking 400 million N95 masks from the Strategic National Stockpile and shipping them to pharmacies and health centers across the country, scheduled to be available in some places by the end of next week. The government also launching a long-awaited website allowing Americans to place their first orders for 4 free at-home COVID tests.
These tests are not easy to come by, so programs like this can make a big difference, but I hope it's just the beginning of something more robust.
The White House cautions there may be hiccups.
Every website launch, in our view, comes with risk. We can't guarantee there won't be a bug or two.
In some major cities, Omicron infections are trending downwards. New York City cases dropped 34% in the last 7 days. But elsewhere across the country, cases continue to overwhelm hospitals. In Oklahoma City, doctors describe a war zone with 0 ICU beds and more than 100 patients waiting.
We have to care for patients in hallways, sometimes closets.
And new data shows nearly 1 million children tested positive for COVID-19 last week, 4 times the rate of the peak of last winter's surge. 29 million eligible children have still yet to get a vaccine shot. Alex Perche, ABC News, New York.
This morning, some international airlines are canceling flights to the U.S. over concerns about potential 5G interference with critical aircraft technology. Emirates, Air India, All Nippon, and Japan Airlines announced service cuts at certain airports, including Boston, Chicago, DFW, and Houston. It's after urgent warnings from top U.S. airline executives about the impact of flight restrictions because of the 5G rollout. Emirates says the 5G issue appeared to affect altimeters in Boeing 777s. Boeing did not immediately respond to a request for comment.
The House committee investigating the U.S. Capitol insurrection has subpoenaed Rudy Giuliani and other members of Donald Trump's legal team who filed bogus legal challenges to the 2020 election. The panel is demanding information and testimony from Giuliani and 3 others, all for publicly pushed voter fraud claims in the months after the election. At least one of the 4 subpoenaed is calling the committee illegitimate and that its efforts are part of a, quote, witch hunt against Trump and his supporters. The others who were subpoenaed did not respond to messages seeking comment.
New overnight, at least 5 people are dead, 11 more hospitalized after a huge fire at a nursing home in eastern Spain. Emergency crews in the Valencia region say 70 people were evacuated from the senior citizen's home. Investigators still don't know what sparked that fire.
And time now is 6:10, about 62 degrees for now.
Still ahead on GMSA, a fashion icon has passed away. We'll reflect on his achievements.
And taking a look outside with live cam, we're at 62 degrees right now. Very warm considering we are in January, but things will be changing very quickly, even as of tonight. We'll be right back.
New overnight, former creative director at Vogue magazine, Andre Leon Talley, has died at the age of 73. His agent confirmed the death with USA Today. Talley, the first black person to hold that role at Vogue. He also wrote two memoirs and was a judge on America's Next Top Model.
And a big deal for Microsoft. The company is buying Activision Blizzard for about $70 billion. The deal adds titles like Call of Duty and Candy Crush to Microsoft's video gaming collection.
Ford and ADT have created Canopy, a ring-like system for cars. Its onboard cameras and other tools will alert owners to potential threats. Canopy won't be exclusive to Ford models. It launches next year.
And we're seeing some flashing lights off of Highway 151 and Loop 1604. Let's go ahead and check in with Stephen Cavazos.
Yeah, we heard visibility is deteriorating out there in some places, Steve.
Doesn't look too clear out there from 1604 State Highway 151. Now we're seeing a few more flashing lights than what we saw earlier this morning. Let's take a closer look at our camera view from TransGuide because we are seeing more people are getting out there on the roadway. Now what you're going to want to do is what I've been seeing some of these folks haven't been doing, moving over. And especially when we see conditions like this outside. We have first responders that are working to clear this scene up and make the roadways a safer place for drivers. So we got to give them a break and make sure that we give them space to clear this mess up because right now it's not clear how long that crash will take to clear or if this will impact that drive time. But again, give them space to clear these scenes up. Again, view at 1604 right at State Highway 151. Let's take you a little bit further in and show you exactly where that's pinpointed because as of right now, we have that crash detected at 1604 eastbound at State Highway 151. Now our road weather map isn't showing a lot of fog in that area, but what we saw on that TransGuide camera is obviously the conditions don't look exactly clear, so we want you to be safe out there this morning. And be on the lookout later this morning, 410 West San Antonio. Some concrete work will be going on later today, and we'll be wrapping up in a few days on January 24th. That will start at 9 in the morning. It's at 5 in the afternoon. That's led to the southbound bypass ramp to West Military Drive to be closed. But again, we still got a few more days of this concrete work. We'll be wrapping up on January 24th. But this is going to be the issue as of right now. We're getting closer to morning rush, so we do know that as these issues start to pop up a little bit more as the morning does go on, you're going to want to be extra careful out on the roadways, guys.
All right, Stephen, thank you. And maybe no jacket this morning.
Yeah, I mean, it's warm enough out there. On top of some of the fog this morning, I saw a couple little damp spots just in places. Yeah, so could be a little bit damp, especially with the low clouds and fog going out mainly on I-10 as Stephen was talking about there. And yeah, temperatures are very, very warm. We may drop down to 59 degrees this morning and then all the way up to 78, about 15 degrees above normal, partly cloudy skies. So we will see some sunshine later on today. And then that big front's going to move through later on tonight. First of all, as far as visibility out there, 3/4 of a mile now, Bernie Stage, 1 mile, Kerrville, 1 3/4 at Castroville, 6 at the airport, 7 at Pleasanton, and a lot of fog going down 35 in toward Cotulla. And those seem to be the thickest spots, a little bit around Gonzales as of right now. So again, temperatures are way above normal. We're about at the normal high temperature. We're not going to be seeing a low temperature around 62 degrees until and after today. Even getting up to 62 won't happen until probably about Tuesday. So it'll stay on the cool side all the way through the weekend. And of course, dew points really came up overnight, and the humidity will continue to be pumped on in here. And then the front's going to move through. Actually, we'll get a little bit of a dry line. Then the actual front's going to move through about 8 o'clock tonight. So the dry air starts to work its way in here. Bone dry air. I mean, getting dew point temperatures down in the single digits is rare around here. It's almost like desert sort of dry air, and that's going to remain the situation all the way through tomorrow and going into Friday. And as far as temperatures, they will continue to drop down, and we're going to be right around low 30s, close to freezing in many spots, below freezing in parts of the hill country starting off tomorrow. And thermometer's not going to move pretty much at all throughout the day tomorrow. It may fluctuate a degree or so. And then, of course, we have the wind chills on top of that. So already by tomorrow morning, wind chills are going to be in the teens and 20s and staying in the teens and 20s throughout the rest of the day tomorrow. And as far as precipitation, front comes through about 8 o'clock tonight. We'll start to see a little bit of some perhaps, and again, this is not written in stone, maybe a 30-40% chance for this, but the first opportunity is going to be in the hill country tomorrow morning, and that will continue on through the morning commute. And even in through most of the day, we'll have that chance for a little bit of light rain, a little bit of sleet, and a little bit of freezing rain mixed on in. Obviously, you saw how temperatures are going to be at or slightly above freezing south of San Antonio, below freezing up there. So the chance for freezing rain and sleet is obviously a little bit better in portions of the hill country. And that's going to, like I said, continue throughout most of the day. And then this will all sort of shift on down to the south as we go on in through the afternoon hours tomorrow, and then maybe a couple of leftover spots even going into Friday morning. So today, 70 at noon, partly sunny skies, and then a high temperature today up to 78. Now, we do have the winter storm watch goes into effect tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock. All the way through the day up until 6 o'clock Friday morning. Temperatures tomorrow, like I said, will not get out of the low 30s and will be right around or below freezing up in the hill country most of the day. Wintry mix, yeah, that's going to be possible. Mixing a little bit of rain, kind of some chunky rain, a little sleet, a little freezing rain. That's what we got to watch out for, especially in the hill country on bridges, overpasses, where it doesn't take anything to kind of, ice up when those things are suspended up in that cold air. Stays cold through the weekend, another chance of rain late Sunday, Monday.
All right, folks, we've done this before, so just be extra careful.
Just watch it.
All right, we'll be prepared. Thank you, Mike.
620, about 62 degrees.
And body cam video shows the tense moments as first responders pulled 3 people from a frozen lake in New Jersey on Sunday. That's ahead in your GMA First Look.
Why hide your skin if Dupixent has your moderate to severe eczema or atopic dermatitis under control?
Hide our skin, not us.
Because Dupixent targets a root cause of eczema, it helps heal your skin from within, keeping you one step ahead of it. And for kids ages 6 and up, that means clearer skin and noticeably less itch.
Hide my skin? Not me.
By helping to control eczema with Dupixent, you can change how their skin looks and feels. And that's the kind of change you notice.
Hide my skin? Not me.
Don't use if you're allergic to Dupixent. Serious allergic reactions can occur, including anaphylaxis, which is severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, or a parasitic infection. If you take asthma medicines, don't change or stop them without talking to your doctor. When you help heal your skin from within, you can show more with less eczema. Talk to your child's eczema specialist about Dupixent, a breakthrough eczema treatment.
In this morning's GMA First Look, surviving the dangers of thin ice.
We do have people in the water.
Tense moments captured on police body cam. Authorities racing to this New Jersey lake Sunday night after an emergency call to help Rodrigo Oborski, who had fallen through thin ice. The 41-year-old says he was riding his dirt bike on the ice, which he thought was 6 inches thick, when the bike's front wheel cracked the ice and he plunged.
I was floating like neck deep when I first went in the water. I was like, that was intense. It was like fighting for your life.
2 witnesses falling through the ice themselves, officials pulling the 3 victims to safety.
It could have definitely turned out worse. I'm just glad the outcome was good.
And we'll have the expert tips for getting out of this dangerous situation coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Alex Perez, ABC News, Chicago.
Big sports news overnight. A Spurs fan favorite's on the move again. According to ESPN, Bryn Forbes will soon be a member of the Denver Nuggets as part of a 3-team trade with the Boston Celtics. Sources say the Nuggets will send Bol and P.J. Dozier to the Celtics, and the Spurs will acquire Boston power forward Juancho Hernan-Gomez and Denver's 2028 second-round pick. Nuggets hope Forbes will improve their three-point shooting. This is the second time Forbes has been traded by the Spurs. He was sent to Milwaukee in 2020 and won an NBA title there in 2021. Good luck, Bryn. Silver and black back in action tonight. Spurs coming off a loss to the Phoenix Suns. They'll look to get back in the win column at home against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Tip-off is set for 7:30 at the AT&T Center.
All right, Spurs, we can do this. Go Spurs, go. Time now 6:25 and 62 degrees for now. Still ahead on GMSA, a scary scene for one man who had to be rescued from his vehicle. We're going to tell you if he was hurt.
And we'll have the latest on an overnight shooting that happened at an apartment complex on the city's far west side. Katrina Weber will join us live with details.
And a quick look outside with TransGuide. Still issues there on Loop 1604 and Highway 151. We'll be checking back with Stephen Cavazos soon.
What a man says was a walk in the woods has turned into a trip to the hospital. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. Police say that person was shot by someone, but he's not giving a lot of information. I'll tell you what we know coming up.
Big changes on the way. In the meantime, a foggy mist has settled in across south central Texas on this early Wednesday morning. And we'll talk about what's coming in the overnight hours into tomorrow because it is a game changer. Good morning. It is Wednesday, the 19th.
Happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining us. Right now, though, pretty mild. When I stepped outside, it almost seemed unreal, like how warm it was for today.
And the fog and mist has been around for a while, so it appears some of the roads are starting to get a little damp out there.
Yeah, even coming into work this morning, there were a couple of little spots here and there where it's like, is that, you had to kind of look twice at it. So, yeah, a little bit of mist. And the change from the past couple of days to today is so significant. But then again, tomorrow is going to be very significant in the other direction. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we had one of those big fronts move through. And remember, we had gotten up to about 80, and then the next day we were down for a low temperature around 30 or something like that. It's going to be a similar situation. This time around, though, we've got the moisture thrown on in. And as you can see, 410, there's the reflection off the roads there with the headlights, so it is on the damp side. Visibility at the airport is being reported at about 6 miles at last check. 62 degrees, dew point is at 61. So relative humidity is well up in the upper 90s. A little bit of a breeze out there as of right now. Yeah, 6 miles at the airport. Castroville has dropped down to a quarter-mile visibility. Bernie Stage, 1 mile. Also Kerrville, a little bit of fog around Pleasanton, going down toward Cotulla. And so it looks as though primarily down 35 and out 10 is where some of the thickest fog is. And again, the roads are kind of on the dampish side. Mountain Cedar, yesterday's count was on the high side. Mold is low. It's going to be interesting to see what Mountain Cedar does by not only tomorrow, but also Friday's readings, just because of the windy conditions that we're going to see overnight and throughout the day tomorrow. Some sunshine today, very warm, upper 70s. That front comes through tonight about 8 o'clock or so. Temperatures will drop down. Cold and windy tomorrow. Temperatures won't get out of the low 30s. As a matter of fact, a good chunk of the hill country won't get above freezing throughout most of the day. We will have some wintry mix as well, starting off in portions of the hill country and then kind of scattered around the area. A little bit of light rain mixed in as well. Perhaps some leftovers early on Friday as far as precipitation, and mainly down to the south. Then we're going to start to clear out just a little bit. It is going to be a cold weekend and a couple of more showers late Sunday, perhaps even on into Monday. And of course, we do have the winter storm watch that has been issued. It goes into effect tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock up until Friday morning at 6 o'clock. Get it all sorted out. Take a look ahead to the weekend, just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Mr. Cavazos, Southern Fog. What's up?
Oh, Mr. Osterhage, looks like things have improved here off 1604 at State Highway 151. We did have a crash that was not really causing issues, but of course, people were driving carefully through this area. We can see that now that scene has cleared out at 1604 at State Highway 151 just moments ago. So some good news, especially because the conditions don't necessarily look too great. But of course, just drive carefully and you'll make it to where you need to be on time and safely. Let's take a look. That crash was detected off 1604 eastbound at State Highway 151. Wasn't causing problems there, but as we push out of the map, we're starting to see that the morning is getting going. It does look like we have a stall that's been detected somewhere off of 410. We'll find out how that will impact the drive time. Now, while we are preparing for the temperatures to drop, TxDOT will actually be preparing the roadways. Jonathan Goto is live this morning. Jonathan, where are you at and what's going to be going on?
Apparently, we're having some technical issues, Stephen, so we're going to get back to Jonathan coming up shortly.
Well, for now, new this morning, a man on his way to a friend's home had to make a detour to a hospital. San Antonio police say someone shot him, wounding him in his leg.
Happened behind an apartment complex over on the far west side of Culebra near Alamo Parkway. Katrina Weber is there with a live report. And Katrina, you mentioned earlier that police don't have a lot of information about who that shooter may be.
Well, that's right. They say this victim is not exactly cooperating. All they were able to get out of him is that the shooting happened in the woods somewhere behind this apartment complex. But it seems that he made it all the way to the third floor apartment, the home of a friend at this apartment complex. The officers found him there around 2:30 this morning after he collapsed. He was taken to a hospital by ambulance for treatment of a gunshot wound to his leg. Police say the victim, who was in his teens or early 20s, wouldn't tell them much more than that, but they did find a piece of evidence that may speak volumes. They say it was a backpack full of drugs that they found behind a building, the same building where they found the victim. They are trying to investigate right now to determine who owns that backpack. And so far, police have not found the shooter. Reporting live from the far west side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Overnight, we learned the name of a woman killed in a house fire on the north side. We first told you about the story Monday morning here on GMSA. The Bexar County Medical Examiner has identified her as 68-year-old Debra Breiner. This was the scene on Brightwood Place near Broadway in Nacogdoches. When fire crews arrived, they realized a couple was still in the home. First responders tried to save Breiner, but she died from soot and smoke inhalation. Her husband was taken to a hospital for burns.
We also know the name of the man who was shot while sitting in his car on the south side of town. Police say 24-year-old James Moreno was found in the driver's seat Sunday afternoon on Pleasanton Road, not far from Commercial Avenue. Officers tell us he had multiple gunshot wounds and was pronounced dead at the scene. So far, there are no reports of any arrests made in the incident.
A wildfire in central Texas at a state park has forced the evacuation of dozens of homes in the city of Bastrop, the site of that historic blaze more than a decade ago.
Fire started Tuesday and continues to burn. Our Sarah Costa joins us live in the studio with the very latest. Good morning.
Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Steph. Here's the good news. The fire has calmed down overnight, which has allowed firefighters to create a containment line for the 640-acre fire burning in Bastrop State Park. This is the same location of the Bastrop County Complex fire that was the most destructive wildfire in Texas history, striking areas of Bastrop County back in 2011. But what we know so far about this current fire is that it started Tuesday afternoon in Bastrop State Park as wind gusts of up to 20 miles per hour spread the flames, prompting the evacuations of 250 families in the city of Bastrop as a precaution. Fire officials say a planned burn from earlier in the day may have caused that fire. No injuries have been reported, and at this time, the fire has not spread to nearby residential neighborhoods. The 2011 wildfire destroyed 1,600 homes in Bastrop, spanning more than 34,000 acres. It's about 30 miles southeast of Austin. Mark and Stephanie.
Thank you, Sarah. The COVID-19 positivity rate still rising here in Bexar County. Metro Health says it now stands at about 38%. Hospitalizations are still going up. 1,197 patients are currently being treated. 249 are in ICU. 105 are on ventilators. Metro Health reporting an average of more than 6,000 new cases a day over the last 7 days. Around the country, all eyes still on Omicron.
And believe it or not, some are asking if the variant could actually get us out of the pandemic.
As Britt Conway reports, it's all based on the variant's transmissibility and often decreased severity.
It's been nearly 2 years.
COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic,
meaning it spread over several countries or continents, usually affecting a large number of people. It was March 11th, 2020. Since then, restrictions have become our new normal, trying to keep the virus from spreading. So what would it take to get us from pandemic to endemic? Something that's at a level usually present in a community. More like the flu. There's hope the virus itself could do that, specifically the Omicron variant.
Because it's a highly transmissible, but apparently not as pathogenic, for example, as Delta.
But health experts say it's not likely.
That would only be the case if we don't get another variant.
There's a good likelihood we're going to see another serious COVID wave of a new variant, TBD, to be determined.
But it seems to me that the answer here is obvious for how to get out of this, to get it to an endemic stage. We can only vaccinate our way out of this pandemic.
A slow work in progress. The latest data from the CDC shows 67% of people 5 years old and up are fully vaccinated. Just under 80% have gotten at least one dose.
Until we get the 80 million or so people who continue to not get a vaccine, we're going to be in trouble.
I'm Britt Conway reporting.
In Crosby, northeast of Houston, the Harris County Sheriff's Office says the deaths of 3 teenagers whose bodies were found at a home yesterday were due to a possible double homicide and suicide. Deputies were sent to the home after a family member who lived nearby made the discovery. The sheriff says 2 girls, possibly ages 17, and a boy, possibly 15 years old, were found with signs of trauma. Investigators say 1 firearm was used in the incident. Right now, it's not known if the teens were related or if they lived at that home.
Happening today, the public invited to pay tribute to those who served and sacrificed for our nation for an unaccompanied veteran memorial service. An unaccompanied veteran is someone whose next of kin is unknown and or burial arrangements have been made by a public administrator like a VA center. The ceremony will be held at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery at 9 a.m.
Time now, 6:39 and about 62 degrees out there.
Still ahead on GMSA this morning, the IRS will begin accepting tax returns next week. Yay! Got some tips that'll help you get your refund on time. Exactly, 6:43. Welcome back to GMSA. This season, the IRS will begin accepting your returns on Monday, January 24th.
And there are some things you can do to get your return without any delays. So first off, you received a stimulus payment last year. You want to make sure you have the correct amount on your return. Same thing goes for any child tax credits you received in 2021. And to help with that, IRS will mail you a letter so you can check the correct amounts, and you can always double check on the agency's website.
You will also want to avoid a paper return. IRS says the best way to avoid any delay is to file electronically and use direct deposit for any refund. Last day to file this year is Monday, April 18th, unless they change it again.
Now let's go ahead and check the roads with Stephen Cavazos for now.
Things have been pretty calm at this hour, Mark and Stephanie. As we take a look, US 90 at 36. Traffic is getting moving. It is morning rush, so more people are out on the roadways. Let's take a closer look and see how things are looking around town. 37 at Southeast Military, still pretty quiet there, but 1604 at Wiseman, not necessarily a clear shot, but traffic quiet in some of these areas. There's I-10 at UTSA Boulevard and 1604 at State Highway 151. Now, that's the scene of a crash that looks like it is thankfully cleared out, but let's take you to the map. Be on the lookout because stalls are popping up here. Loop 410 westbound at Broadway Street. This is the latest one that we've seen. Not causing issues just yet. Pushing out of the map, though, we are starting to see that the morning is getting going here. Not really a lot of delays just yet, but as we are anticipating these temperatures to drop, TxDOT, as I mentioned, will be doing some preparations on the roadways. Jonathan Cotho live this morning. Jonathan, tell us where you're at and what's going on.
Good morning, Stephen. I'm located off of I-35 northbound near Cibolo. Now, this is an area TxDOT is expected to be treating. Now, that pre-treatment is going to be focusing on major routes such as highways, really targeting those bridges that are known to freeze over and make for unsafe driving conditions. Now, they say they'll also be pre-treating the northwest portion of I-10 between Loop 1604 through both Kerr and San Angelo counties. Now, also from Loop 1604 on the north side and I-35 north of Loop 1604 through Comal County. We're told those crews will be using a brine solution in an effort of keeping roadways from freezing over. Now, TxDOT is strongly advising the public to stay off the roads, but if you have to be out, of course, drive with extreme caution. Now, slow down and maintain at least 3 times the normal following distance and use extra caution on bridges, ramps, and overpasses as they are known to freeze first. Very important to keep in mind if your vehicle starts to slide, ease off the gas pedal or brakes, steer into the direction of the skid until you have regained traction, then of course straighten your vehicle out. And as of right now, crews are expected to be hitting the roadways a little after 9 o'clock later this morning. This is an operation that we're going to be following closely, so make sure to tune in to GMSA at 9 for the latest. Reporting live from I-35 northbound near Cibolo, Jonathan Cotho. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you, Jonathan.
All right, let's bring in Mike and get everybody up to speed on what's likely to happen not only tomorrow, but tomorrow night and into Friday, you say?
Yeah, maybe a little bit left over on Friday morning. First things first, we do have some damp roads out there this morning because of all the humidity that's come back on in here. We do have a little bit of fog. You can see the control tower out there at the airport, but visibility, well, which actually came up now to 9 miles. It was down to 6 miles at one point. Now pea soup over there, Castroville, Hondo at 2 miles visibility, 1.5 miles Bernie stage. That's improved slightly, and Kerrville is still at 1 mile. But yeah, going out 90, Castroville, be very careful there. And then heading down 35 in toward Cotulla and also over toward Gonzales. Victoria now has some fog. So 10, 35 and 90. That's where some of the thickest fog is as of right now. So what we should plan for: a little bit of light sleet and some freezing rain, kind of off and on throughout the day, because temperatures here in town are going to be flirting right around freezing, above and below by a degree or so throughout the day. But up in the hill country, temperatures should be staying below freezing throughout most of the day. It is going to be windy and cold. We are going to have wind chill temperatures in the mid to lower 20s, maybe even teens throughout the day. So, like Jonathan was talking about, that little bit, doesn't take much of anything to, if it freezes on contact, to cause that glaze on some of the elevated surfaces. Now, of course, the ground is very warm right now. You know, we've been up in the 70s the past couple of days, going to be up close to 80 later on today. But, and that does not lose the heat that quickly, but it is those elevated overpasses and bridges which are just suspended up in the very cold air, in the air that is below freezing. That's why they freeze first. And like I said, it's going to stay below freezing, at or below right around freezing throughout most of the day tomorrow. Front comes through about 8, 9 o'clock tonight, and then we'll start to see a little bit of that mixed precipitation out in the hill country tomorrow morning. Kind of a mixture here in town, maybe some chunky rain at times, if you will. And then there's that line. Notice how it's primarily liquid precipitation down to the south. Again, that's because temperatures will be, again, flirting mid-30s, but below freezing in the hill country. And this will be throughout a good portion of the day, kind of going back and forth a little bit, and it's going to continue on. Now, this doesn't mean it's going to be constant. This doesn't mean it's going to be everywhere all the time. It's just that chance for it throughout much of the day, and then that's going to continue even into tomorrow night, and maybe some leftovers early tomorrow morning, or excuse me, on Friday morning, and then things will start to clear out somewhat as we go in through the day on Friday. So the forecast today, very warm. You can go without a jacket today. 70, partly sunny skies, and then a high temperature today up to 78. Now, if you are heading out this evening, want to take a jacket with you as you head on out, because temperatures will drop down late tonight. Winter storm watch, it goes into effect tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock up until 6 o'clock Friday morning. And tomorrow temperatures only stay in the low 30s, very windy, some wintry mix off and on throughout a good chunk of the day, and then very cold starts Friday morning, Saturday morning, and temperatures won't make it back up to where they are right now until Tuesday.
Wow, tomorrow's going to be brutal temperature-wise.
Yeah, with those wind chills and that dampness too. Yeah.
What goes without saying that this team's going to have complete coverage in the next couple of mornings as the situation continues to develop. Mike, thank you.
And of course, keep watching this afternoon with, Kasky to update things. Justin at noon too.
As that front comes in.
Yep.
All right, thank you, Mike.
6:49, about 62 degrees.
And tomorrow on GMSA, a nearby community coming together in a big way to help an 8-year-old battling cancer. It's a KSAT Kids story that's sure to put a smile on your face.
Outside with live cam, no scarf today. Scarf tomorrow, for sure. We're going to get an update on the situation on the roads this morning with Stephen Cavazos. He'll have that coming up after this break.
Coming up here on a Wednesday on GMA, it is all about the storms. And yes, that's plural, the bitter cold. I'll be tracking everybody from Montana to Delaware, down to South Carolina, up to Maine on alert. So we will show you what's going to happen there. But also already this morning, we've got pictures coming out of the northern plains of blizzard conditions to give you a little taste. That and so much more coming up right here on GMA.
He took a bullet behind a building. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. San Antonio police say that's about all they know about an overnight shooting. The victim is not cooperating. They found that man around 2:30 this morning outside the home of a friend, a third-floor apartment at this complex on Culebra Road near Alamo Parkway. They say the victim, who is either in his teens or early 20s, had been shot in the leg. He was taken to a hospital. But police say he wasn't offering a lot of information about what happened, only that he was shot in the woods behind the apartments. They say he told them that he did not know where the bullet came from. Well, officers searched the area. They say they found a backpack full of drugs. They're still trying to determine who owns that backpack, and they have not found the shooter. Reporting from the far west side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Katie, Science Lab is back on the road this morning.
Katie will be live at King Elementary in San Antonio ISD with Mrs. Sims' 5th grade class.
Today's experiment focuses on weather, and Katie and the class will be making a cloud in a jar. We'll see if it works today on GMSA at 9.
And for now, let's take one last look at traffic with Stephen Cavazos.
Thank you, Mark Stephanie. Well, we're seeing flashing lights and moving cars, so you got to be careful out there. 37 at Cesar Chavez is the scene of a crash that we're looking at here. We are seeing traffic that is moving through that area freely, but check this out when we bring you to the map, because those northbound lanes of 37 northbound right at Carolina Street, we're starting to see a slowdown. Not looking too good there. We're going to keep a watchful eyes on the roadways throughout the morning. Let's check in with Mike for the forecast.
See the reflection on the road over there by the airport on 410, the headlights. A little bit of damp spots on the road thanks to all of this moisture out there. Zero visibility right now at Castroville, mile and a quarter Hondo, and then more fog heading out I-10 in toward the hill country, going down 35 in toward Cotulla. Mid upper 50s, low 60s, very warm, very humid. And throughout the day, we're going to make it up to 78. We'll see some sunshine later on today. Now that front's going to move through about 8 o'clock or so tonight. And tomorrow morning, then, starting at 6 o'clock in the morning, we will have a winter storm watch go into effect up until Friday morning. We are expecting temperatures to stay only in the low 30s all day tomorrow. Very windy conditions. We'll start to see a little bit of mixed precipitation up in the hill country first of all, and then off and on even throughout the day tomorrow. The chance will be there, and maybe some lingering into early Friday, and stays cold over the weekend. Of course, get the latest throughout noon and evening from Justin, from Caskey, and of course tomorrow morning right here.
Yes, sir.
Well, be careful and bundled up. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Have a great day.